What's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here today. We are all green. We're all green everything except for gold and real estate stuff. But we'll get into that in today's video. Very exciting video for you today. We're going to be talking about why everything that's going on right now is important for you over the next 12 to 24 months in your crypto portfolio.
Before we dive in, please note that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptocurrencies, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk.
We have some amazing news to bring to you over on X.com, so we'll be getting into some of this very important stuff. We will also be checking in on the charts of XRP. We're taking a look here on the daily charts. If you remember yesterday when we were on the video, we were about here, and we had just broken above the 10 exponential moving average. And what we talked about was we needed to break above the 30 and the 50. That was before Trump got elected. Obviously, after that was finished, boom, big, huge move to the upside. We're cranking up today already as well. Our next location of interest is going to be that 55-cent level. We need to break it. As you can remember, back here from October 14th until October 21st, it rejected off there multiple times, and it remained under the 30 and the 50 exponential moving average. Now we're above all of that. We're about to see that next move to the upside. Bitcoin absolutely went parabolic yesterday. It was incredible to watch. Right now, we got the new candle kicking off. A new all-time high for Bitcoin, 76,400 was accomplished yesterday. The one thing that bothers me right now is we do have a massive fair value gap because that was just all buyers and there was no real sellers in that market. Could we see a pullback into the zone, filling that before the moonshot to the next level? And Ethereum, the stepchild that no one cares about anymore because Solana is so great and Sui's going to take it out. Well, we've been talking about Ethereum having an opportunity for a pump. And as we see it here on the daily charts, it is finally starting to happen. What we do need to see, though, and we're getting very close, we now have the 10 exponential crossed over the 30 and the 50, and we're about to see the 30 cross over the 50. So what we would like to see, as we can see here on the downside, you want it white, yellow, red. That's 10, 30, 50. And over here, we want it the same thing, white, yellow, red. So yellow is about to get that crossover, which will be really nice. We do have the potential of a pullback into this fair value gap as well. It would be then, I would see it rejecting off the downside to one of these moving averages before it makes its next move up. Taking a look here at Bitcoin dominance, we talked about this very thoroughly yesterday as well. It is making that pullback that we were hoping for. What this means is we could start to see some altcoins moving against Bitcoin. So the XRP moved to the upside, the Ethereum moved to the upside, Solana, and so on. We definitely would love to see Bitcoin continue cranking to the upside. Once it gets to price discovery, all the coins follow. But we don't want to see, well, some people, Bitcoin maxis, want to see that going up only. But if you're holding a bag that's diversified, obviously you're going to want to see Bitcoin dominance at about a 50-55 range. But the reality is none of that matters right now because money is just pumping into the system. Who cares the Bitcoin dominance when you got over $200 billion added to the cryptocurrency market today? Sorry, I'm so excited. It's just crazy. It's hard to even talk. So just imagine, like we talked about, over the next 24 months of what your portfolio can do once you start to see the retail buyers coming in the market. Remember, retail is not even here yet. Also, some huge news over here at CoinMarketCap. Before I get to that huge news, just want to kind of go over the dashboard here. Market cap right now, $2.53 trillion. It's up 9% in the last 24 hours. The volume, though, $218 billion to the upside, up 128%. Fear and greed, still at 62 only. We have not even gotten into the greedy levels of where people are going to be taking massive profits. Right now, we got the Bitcoin dominance, 58.95. Ethereum making a nice move, 13.33% on the dominance scale there. But what I am super excited about, it happened yesterday and then it didn't happen, and it happened again today. When you scroll down, we take a look at the number 7 best coin By market cap, XRP is currently number 7. It has taken out Dogecoin. Now, if you remember yesterday, there was a quick swap. XRP took out Dogecoin yesterday, and then Dogecoin surged and took back its space. But now XRP officially taking that 7th spot. It is currently up 4.73 on the 24-hour scale and over the last 7 days. Currently sitting at $30 billion, almost $31 billion market cap, and $2.2 billion worth of trading volume. So if you're like me, you woke up this morning, you took a look at your portfolio and you were like, hell yeah, this is very exciting. But when you take a look at this guy's portfolio, check it out. Just in, Elon Musk's net worth rises over $20 billion following Donald Trump's presidential election victory. So what's really interesting is obviously he has his Tesla company, SpaceX company, all of those things. He owns a junk ton of Bitcoin, everything in the market surging for him, and obviously his net worth exploding to the upside. Oh, and in case you were confused, that was $20 billion in a day. So obviously, I'm hoping and praying that you were very excited about your portfolio, but to grow by $20 billion in a day, and also to help save democracy and help save free speech with the X platform, it's pretty spectacular. And I know some of you guys may also have a portfolio in stocks and bonds and such. Just so you are aware, just in over $1.28 trillion was added to the US stock market today. So very exciting news all the way around. Crypto, stock market.
Show to get to every asset class that is rallying hard today. Bitcoin certainly among them. Take a look, almost 75,000. As investors are betting on a friendlier environment for that industry under a second Trump administration. Mackenzie Sigalos is following that story for us. Mackenzie.
Hey, Scott. Bitcoin briefly surging to a new record high as investors bet that Donald Trump will deliver on his pro-crypto promises, especially with a Republican-controlled Senate behind him and after getting more than $25 million from crypto donors. Now, Trump's main pledge is to fire SEC Chair Gary Gensler, who's brought more than 100 enforcement actions against industry leaders like Coinbase and Robinhood. Those stocks are pumping 25% and 17% respectively today, with Robinhood on pace for its best day in over 2 years. Bitcoin miners are also getting a boost this morning, with Trump having promised on the campaign trail that all future Bitcoin will be mined in the U.S. Marathon, Riot, and Bit Digital are all trading up more than 14% and driving small caps higher as well. Now, in terms of the market outlook, multiple analysts are expecting Bitcoin will hit $100,000 before Trump's inauguration, especially if he delivers on promises like launching a strategic national crypto stockpile with the $15 billion worth of Bitcoin that it already has on its books from asset seizures. And Scott, Bitcoin now up 68% year to date after briefly hitting that new all-time high overnight.
So you heard that right. CNBC says Bitcoin could reach $100,000 before the presidential inauguration. Now, what's also really great about what she said is Gary Gensler may be getting fired. And just in, Hester Pierce, crypto mom, is rumored to be the top pick to replace Gary Gensler as the SEC chair. So is she going to be an amazing move? Absolutely. Well, anybody is going to be better than Gary Gensler, obviously. But she is going to be fantastic. She's been rooting for Bitcoin. She's been rooting for crypto. So that's very exciting from the government side of thing. Now, another really exciting thing from the government side of thing is we have Senator Cynthia Lummis, also a very huge crypto supporter. We're going to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve, is what she's saying. And as we have right here from Bitcoin Archive, Senator Lummis has now put forward a bill for the U.S. government to buy 200,000 Bitcoin per year over 5 years, totaling 1 million Bitcoin. At today's price, that would be worth $76 billion. And as you can see right here, 200 Bitcoin per year for 5 years, meaning 1 million Bitcoins for the United States government to hold in its reserve. And we also have Mike Novogratz talking about how the crypto community really showed up to push Trump over the line because he was pro-crypto as opposed to the other team. So let's take a listen.
Founder and CEO, Mike Novogratz. Mike, I believe that you were supporting the other candidate, but I'm curious, as you see these markets moving the way they are, what your reaction is.
Listen, it was a great night for the crypto industry. right? And if you listen to your last guest, Donald Trump, that keeps his promises. If you go back to the speech he made at Nashville to the crypto community, his agenda is very pro-crypto. J.D. Vance is pro-crypto, Peter Thiel, Howard Lutnick, Kennedy. He surrounded himself by people that believe in the industry, care about the industry. I mean, the crypto community showed up, right? There are now over 240 congressmen who, the crypto pack thought were pro-crypto. And so we've got a Congress that is moving our.
You heard that right. 240 congressmen are pro-crypto now.
Way. We've got a president that's moving our way. And so for Galaxy, for the crypto industry, I couldn't be more optimistic.
And in terms of your optimism, it relates to the way this is going to be regulated, because now you have a bet going that there will be a Bitcoin reserve for the country. I mean, sort of
listen, I'm not sure we end up
play out the
Bitcoin.
permutations here.
I think the biggest thing is the OCC, the FDIC, the SEC, the regulatory chairs getting direction from a president and a secretary of treasury that says, hey, we want to lead in this industry. Those three positions with someone who's open-minded to crypto and who's pro-crypto changes everything.
Over here on the XRP chart, let's take a look at where are we going. All right, so first and foremost, we are getting bullish. We haven't officially, I can't say bullish yet because we have not flipped the ribbon of moving averages. As we had over here, right? So you can see right here, the 10 crossed over. It was the white, yellow, red. That's more bullish for us. Once it crossed over below that, bearish, and it continued being bearish. We're getting close to flipping that. We just showed this earlier. Ethereum is about to flip it after today, and we can see Ethereum is making a nice surge to the upside. Now, what's also interesting for Ethereum, it has some fair value gaps here at 2,900, 3,100. These gaps right here are typically what get filled. So are we going to fill this one to the upside, or do we fill this downside one? That's the only thing that bothers me, is we have a fair value gap down here to the downside. But with all this positive news and momentum, surging to the upside is where we're more than likely going. Now, when we look at Bitcoin, the exciting thing is there is no more fair value gaps to the upside, because we've only got new price discovery modes coming in. So we do have some fair value gaps to the downside. We'll have to keep an eye on that one right there. Could bring us back for a retest at that 70,000. But what's interesting, when we broke out of that massive bull flag pattern, it ran up nice, came back and retested literally right off of that place, right? So it came down right here, tested right off of that zone, and boom, rocket ship to the moon. It also had some confluence with positive news, and then it really made a run to the upside. But the great thing is, when we look at Ethereum, there's so much upside targets to be getting to. We had this very large accumulation phase. We're starting to move to the upside. We have actually broken. So we had right here a new high, and then we had a higher low, a new higher high, a new higher low. This one kind of failed us here on the daily chart. When we look here on the weekly, though, switch it to the line graph so we're not getting confused or anything with all of the wicks there. And we take our trend line from here to there. And we'll go from here to there. Turn our candles back on. We can see we did break out of there. But you know what? When you're in a trend like this, a lot of times it will spike below those areas anyway, just to try to accumulate all of that liquidity below there, right? So now we have this nice, perfect trend line, a liquidity dip before the move to the upside. There's a bunch of people, they kept moving their stops up as they continued to make profits. And this right here would have wicked down and stopped out a lot of those profits. Now we're moving to the upside. We do have the upside trend line here, though. Let's get a little bit more accurate with our angle here. And that runs into right where we're at. So could we see something similar to what we saw with Bitcoin? So price comes up, gets into one of these fair value gaps, comes back and retests this zone before making the move to the upside. Or do we just rip to the upside? When we're taking a look here on the daily charts and we go to Heikin-Ashi candles, we can see this was our zone of interest, area of interest to the upside here, because after we break these levels, it's all smooth sailing, all this red zone right here up until we get to this chop spot right here, 3,193. But that's on daily, so that could take weeks or months to get there, reality, right? So let's go to a smaller time frame and let's see what we could hit here. So after we break this level, we're green all the way up, or yeah, we should be green because this was red all the way down. And that gives us an area of interest, actually relatively close to that same spot here. Let's go magnet, square. You see what happens is, for those of you guys watching, you've not watched me chart before, when you go to Heikin-Ashi candles, you can see that it's a smoother look, right? So the colors stay red in the bearish trend, green in the bullish trend. But what happens is at the end or bottom of a bear trend, it's going to give a little bounce back and it creates a green candle. Well, the top green candle becomes an area of interest. So you can block that off. And that's where it's going to go to the upside. Just like how it happened on the bottom, when it finally finished this drop, this became the bottom here. And it was this candle right here. That was an area of interest, right? So we had that candle. It came in here, tested, ripped to the upside, came in here. It acted as a perfect support for a little while, broke, came to the bottom of that zone, and it's been in this level. So this is where people have been comfortable buying for a very long time. Now we've come back down here. We finally accumulated, hopefully, those last batch of buys, and we can really rip to the upside now. When we take a look at XRP, this is where we could be getting exciting for XRP. We talked about yesterday the double bottom that we were getting into. What we're running into now is the traffic, all right? And then there's this line that you can use. It is the 1100 exponential moving average. It's a really strange moving average, but try it. It's like it acts like a magnet. It's really interesting. But here on the 4-hour chart, we can see we have gotten into these zones, right? So this is the highest point right here. And the last green candle next to that highest point is actually this candle right here. We're going to take that. So this is going to be our area of interest. We're not quite there. You can see when it ran up there last time and rejected, it came and retested that zone, and that's when it's been falling. Now we're getting really close to it again. Very, very close to it. And in fact, if we take, well, check this out. We'll delete that one. Now we know that's the top, okay? But look at this one right here. This one is the very last one before the drop, so you could use that one. And if you take a look at the very last one, this was the last one of the move to the upside before it started its downtrend. Look at where our price hit. And this is what I'm telling you guys. I learned this about 4 years ago, this Heikin-Ashi zone, and it works so good. Look at how close that got to it. It's almost exact. And then the other interesting thing is our candles are still moving up. We're still green here, right? So could we get to that level? Now, what's interesting is we don't want that level to be the level. We want to continue through that. So we have to turn that. It's going to be a resistance right now. When it hits it, it's going to resist, whether it bounces back down into this zone and goes up, or it just struggles. Or, I mean, in reality, if we get word that Gary Gensler is really going to be fired, and then we get the clear. But regardless, so this is the turbulence that we're going to experience right in this zone, that 55-cent level, which we know historically, when we go back over here, historically, 55 cents is always a problem because it's either a resistance or in the past, it's been a historical support. But here's what's really cool, guys. When we do break through this 55-cent level and it starts to make its next move to the upside, as we can see right here, smooth sailing to the upside. All right, so let's switch back to Heikin-Ashi candles. And as we can see on the 4-hour, this is all red until we get to here. So now we're looking at a move back up to 62 cents. So what we need to do is break this 55-cent level. How we had the cascade down from 62 cents to here. We could then have the rocket move up to the 62 cents. And that's what I'm looking to see happen for XRP. Now we've got this groundswell, this positive momentum coming in. Right now on the 4-hour, we are getting into a little bit of the overbought territory. But the reality is the orange line here, it's only at 50. So it can run all the way up. This main line of price or of RSI can keep on going up or flatten out and go sideways for a little while. But this orange line is the momentum line. That's the average price line. We want to see that coming up to the upside. And when we take a look at that on the daily chart, you can see it is barely finally making the move to the upside. So that's huge positive news. Also, momentum starting to switch. We did also talk about yesterday how the Bollinger Bands have gotten real tight because it's been trading sideways forever. And this chart's a little messy. So the reason that those lines are there is every month for the last 6 months, on the first of the month, XRP has been dumping on us. So I've been tracking that. Check this out, though. This is like this right here could be showing us a super explosion. Look at these Bollinger Bands getting tight. So this outside line and this outside line, that's the Bollinger Bands. Unfortunately, on the monthly chart, it doesn't give us enough data. This just doesn't go back in time enough. Here we go. So if we go back in time on this chart here, XRP, Bollinger Bands here, extremely spread out. Why? Because that was the huge move up to the $3.30. Okay. Then what happened? Well, it went down and traded sideways for a very, very long time. Then what happened? Bollinger Bands got real tight. I'm talking real tight right here. Then what happened? Price explosion. All right. Then we had the price reduction and then traded sideways. And look at these Bollinger Bands on the monthly. It's getting tight. In fact, let's see. We put a line here and we put a line here. Right now, the Bollinger Bands are tighter than the last time it exploded to the upside, which was from here up, which was an 844% move up to $1.75. We went from this low of the most recent swing low on this monthly candle with the same explosion of an 800% rise. We would be up at $3.22. It would be, sorry, that would be a $3.22 move, which would put us at $3.63. Obviously a new all-time high. That could happen. When we go back in time and we look at that explosion, one candle, the one candle right here, this one monthly candle, which was December of 2017, that move was a 1,000% move, 1,150% move. Obviously, there was more move to the upside. The following month gave us that 1,500% move, $3.11 to the upside, but 2 months. So could we see new all-time highs XRP? We are in November, December, January. That would be exciting. Now, the only real problem that I'm seeing myself in, that I'm seeing my friends in, that I'm talking to our team on the back end of things, what is the only problem that might be out there right now? And the only problem that I have seen is that a lot of people, because of this economy, put themselves in a position where they don't have any extra money saved up. They don't have any extra side hustles or side gigs or side money or any ideas on how to make extra money on the side. They don't also have much time. But you know what? A lot of people have networks, and we found an opportunity for our community through their network to make extra money to put into this bull run before it goes parabolic. So check
bull runners. This is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and MasterCard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners? So if you own a business, or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or MasterCard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated $1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over $7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.